Get a head start on your next trophy buck. Order stand placement advanced techniques today at Closing the Distance.
Today on Closing the Distance, Amy Reeves, she takes us to Kansas. She shoots her biggest buck ever. Her son Walker, he shoots his biggest buck ever. Let's get started.
Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape. After the break, staffer Amy Reeves harvests a huge Kansas buck. Later on, Walker Reeves makes good on a big 8-point. We'll be right back. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthews Solo Cam. Catch us if you can. Tree Limb Quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights. Sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminaut. Can your arrow not do this?
Well, my wife and I, Amy Reeves, we hunted in the early season right here around the house, and we had a couple of real good encounters with some bucks we wanted to shoot, but we just never could make it happen. But it was real good practice for her just to go and sit and shoot her bow a lot before a Kansas hunt. She drew a tag in Kansas, and we got to go up there before Thanksgiving, and I think we hunted one full day. We saw some really nice deer, but just nothing she wanted to shoot. And on the third morning of the hunt, it looked like it wasn't going to be that great of a morning. It was real cloudy out there, and it actually had rained some that morning. Just out of the blue, we looked down, and this really good buck that we've been after is standing right under the feeder. Down.
Where did the deer come from? Where did that deer come from?
I have no idea.
I just looked up and he was there under the feeder. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Big buck. Thanksgiving Day. Super cold. Ice storm blowing in today. And just sitting here enjoying the hunt, and big buck appears. I didn't even see that deer. He just appeared out of nowhere. Calm, easy, good wind blowing, so can't be more thankful than to bag a big buck on Thanksgiving Day. That's awesome. And I'm pretty sure I saw him go down right out there.
I think so. I think he
so.
looked like he was
He's
hurting. The shot looked a little high.
It was a little high. Shot was a little high.
But I mean, he had a good down on angle is the thing.
Yeah.
I think he went down. He looked like he was
Right up in that gully, right past to the left of those cedars.
I never saw him come out of that.
I didn't see him come out of it either. I think he went down.
We'll give him a little bit. I don't know what time it is. I'm gonna have to check and see, but
Yes. Yay.
got him.
Well, we're pretty sure we saw my deer go down not far right out there. So we're going to check out and see if we see some blood here and try to get out there to him. But as you can see, we were hunting ground blind elevated up above our feeder, which my shot was a little bit high, I think, but it had some down penetration, so it should have been a good killing shot. So we're gonna go check it out. Thank goodness for ground blinds on a day like today when the weather is not cooperating. Because ordinarily I'd be hunting up there in the tree, which is one of my favorite spots, but opted to keep dry in the cold today instead of wet in the cold. So let's go check it out.
Holy smokes. Ooh. Look at that deer.
Look at that deer.
Look at that. Amy, that is the big deer. That's him.
That's him.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving morning. Wow, I just don't even hardly have words. We were trying to decide where we were going to hunt this morning and been running trail camera pictures and trying to decide what's going to be the best spot. And we had some pictures of a really good deer earlier in the season come into this stand. Hadn't had anything in weeks and weeks and weeks, and today it was going to be rainy, nasty, yucky day, and we knew we had a good ground blind, and it's just such a good spot. You're taking a chance. You just never know what might show up over here. And an hour into the hunt, this big bad boy stepped out from behind the cedars, calm as could be, feeding, and wow, my Thanksgiving blessing. That is awesome. Look at the mass. Look at the mass.
That's the one. We've got pictures of him for, I think this is our 3rd year. And more pictures this year. He kind of fooled me. He broke that G2 on his left side's broke.
Here.
That's okay. We know a good taxidermist. We'll put that back. We got lots of trail cam pictures.
Awesome. Look, he's got a fork in his brow.
Got a fork. Big mature deer.
I am so blessed. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Golly.
Just because I'm a camera hog and I want to be over here with my wife, I'm getting in the picture because I'm cold and I sit.
And he suffered through it with me all
man.
the time.
We got our son is sitting with Pawpaw crossbow hunting, and we hope and pray that they had a good morning. He got on a big buck yesterday afternoon and couldn't get it done, just didn't happen. And like I said, we've been hunting this deer for 3 years now, and lots of times we wouldn't get pictures of him until late in the season. And this year we started getting pictures of him early, and we haven't had a picture of him since October 29th. And now, what is today? It's Thanksgiving Day.
November 25th or 26th.
November 26th. And we're sitting there, and he shows up, and I don't
know
what he's going to score, but we're going to tell you later on. And he's definitely Amy's biggest deer.
It's my trophy, my Thanksgiving trophy.
The body on that deer, the head on that deer, he is unreal. I knew he was a shooter when I saw him, and it's just awesome. We couldn't ask for a better hunt.
Coming up, young Walker Reeves takes a great buck. Closing the Distance will be right back. Don't go on your next hunt without knowing why you might miss. Get your free copy of Shot Placement 101 today. Details at closingthedistance.com. Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape.
Well, my fondest hunts this year were with my grandson, Walker. He and I hunted 3 or 4 days. We had some close encounters. You know, when you've got a 12-year-old there and you're trying to shoot a mature buck, that can be a challenge sometimes. We had a mature buck come in one morning late. Actually, he came in about 9:30 in the morning, and he was perfectly calm, and I looked at him and I knew he was close to a 150 class deer, and I told my grandson, I said, this is a nice deer, we're probably gonna take this deer. And he got all positioned, and the buck was standing straight to us, and all of a sudden he turns and runs about 50 yards, and it wasn't until sometime later I figured out what happened. We didn't spook the deer, it started sleeting real hard. And that sleet hitting on our blind and hitting on top of a metal lid on a corn feeder actually spooked him, because I could hear the sleet hitting. It was loud. And 10 minutes later there was no sleet. It was gone. But so was the buck. So we didn't get a shot at that deer. That's tough on a 12-year-old. The deer that Walker ended up finally taking, one afternoon he came in, walked straight in, started feeding, and a porcupine was at the feeder. I've never seen one spook from a porcupine, but this porcupine bowed up and challenged the deer, spewed at him, and the deer walked off and left. And my grandson looks, and I'm saying, he's gonna come back, he'll come back, just hang on. But he didn't. And of course, Pawpaw don't always know exactly what's gonna happen. But we had some exciting hunts, we had some fun hunts, and some cold hunts.
When we return, the bucks are moving. We'll be right back. Want more from Closing the Distance? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthews Solo Cam. Catch us if you can. Tree limb quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights. Sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies. Taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant. Finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminaut. Can your aeronaut do this?
Well, the big 8-point buck that the porcupine ran off, and we called him the porcupine buck, started showing up about a mile away at another feeder. And we had a lot of pictures of him for the last 3 consecutive days prior to the hunt. He had been there. So Chad and Walker and I went down there one afternoon, and we were really expecting this buck to show up. We got set up in the blind, and a few does came in and was feeding around, and they began to get nervous and look back up to the north. And I told Walker, I said, that buck is coming. They see him. He's way out there, but we can't see him, but they can. So I got the camera actually around to that way, started filming, and the buck just come walking right in. And he chased does, he worked scrapes, he did a lot of things that we love to see when we're in the field before Walker could ever get a shot. But this was the deer we were looking for, and Walker was able to take him.
Stay right there. No, you got him. You got him, Dad. Stay with him, Papa. Stay with him. See him running? He's squirting blood. He's squirting blood. He crossed that ditch, but he ain't going far. Right out there.
Yes.
Good job, dude. Good job. Boy, he wore us out, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
He wore us out. Did you think he was ever going to get a shot?
No, I thought I was gonna miss.
Oh, man. What do you think about that? Oh, he was squirting blood. That execution.
He did the back kick.
Oh, man, he did like the double jump up both legs kick. It was almost like your mom shot. It was a little bit high, but when he turned that corner out there, I saw blood squirt out. That's a nice deer.
He's beautiful. He's the biggest you've ever got.
All right. Look at your crossbow. Oh, get your crossbow.
Oh, that looks good. Get that broadhead.
It's an executioner.
The executioner.
That's a good one.
I think you executed him too. It did a number on him. Well, we finally closed the distance on one. Let me put this in your cooler. I think you made a good shot on him.
Yeah.
Let's go see if we can find some blood.
What about that stand up there, Walker? You like that stand?
It's a good hideout.
See the blood on the ground? Looks pretty good, don't it? Let's follow the blood.
Good blood trail. Keep firing it.
Look at that blood. That's what that executioner broadhead to do. Look at that deer, Walker.
Pick his arm. Pick him up. Wow.
He is pretty, isn't he? Golly. What do you think about that?
Looks good.
Is that a good hunt?
Yes, sir. Really nice little one.
What does it?
This is two.
So what is that? So he makes him a 10. He's kind of broke on the end just a little bit, isn't he? On his end of his main beam.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Up here on his left main beam.
No, on the other one. You see how it's kind of busted just a little bit? That's a nice deer. How far you think he went?
I don't know, about 70 yards.
Maybe 70. That's probably about right. That's a look at the blood coming out of him right there.
Yeah.
Oh, the executioner did a number on
I
him.
mean, it tore him up.
I always love the shows that we shoot where we show family hunting together and enjoying the outdoors, because it's so important that we pass on our love of the outdoors and our passion for hunting with our family and our friends and our children. But it always gets me to thinking, you know, what else are we passing on to those that we love? I was fortunate enough to have a father that passed on two great loves to me that have really transferred into my life. My dad gave me a love for the outdoors and a love for hunting, and my dad taught me a love for God and how to put God first in my life. And the truth of the matter is, to teach one without the other, we're really lacking in something that's significant. Because here's the thing, in this life, hunting is a great joy, it's a great pleasure, it's a great privilege, it's an honor. But I always ask myself what I think my dad asked himself: what about beyond this life? What am I sharing with my family that will last beyond just this life into all of eternity? I'm 43 years old. I got two children now, and recently just had a grandson born to me, and I'm thinking more now about that than ever before. What am I passing on to my children? What am I giving to my grandchildren that is going to last beyond this lifetime? Obviously, I want to share the outdoors with my family. I want them to know how our Creator created all of this for us, and that it's here to enjoy, it's here to be a blessing to us. And there are so many multiple hours of enjoyment. It's such a great blessing. But if I don't teach them about God and about a love for God, then giving them a love for hunting without a love of God really isn't going to help them in the way that they need it the most. So I want to encourage you to think about it. What are you passing on to those that are looking up to you? If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to closingthedistance.com and click on the Moment of Truth tab.